Welcome back to SnowRunner, guys, and this is the Doomsday, also known as, quite simply, the most insane Suburban we have ever seen in this game, at least up to the point where this video was recorded. Now, we're going to get it into the garage, we're going to go through the customization features, and then we're going to take it outside and see what it can do, and also, to answer y'all's question that I'm sure a lot of you may have about whether or not this thing is console-friendly, it is. It's just not been approved for consoles yet as of the day and time of recording this video. So rest assured that this vehicle is console friendly, it just needs to be approved. Once again, it may, if you are watching this video in the future, it may already be approved, but I will put a pinned comment in the comment section down below that will tell you guys whether or not this thing is approved and is or isn't on consoles at this present time. Now, without any further ado, let's go ahead and fire it up, get it in the garage, and see what kind of customizations we have customization options we have available. God, this thing is insane looking, by the way. It's also, like, look at the gigantic axles. The axles are huge. The axles are probably one of the most, like, imposing features of the entire rig. Like, literally the entire rig. All right, so let's see. 5.9 liter B series. Let's see, 6.4 liter B series stroker and 6.7 liter twin turbo common rail. Use at your own risk. I love when they've got little disclaimers under the engine selection, because that means you should definitely use it, at least in my mind. Now we have the Top Truck Challenge spec transmission, which is going to be a lot more geared to your slow-paced crawling type deal. You also have the A1000 6-speed and the A1000 5-speed. We're going to go with the 6-speed because it's going to be your all-purpose setup. And then let's see, we've got the TTC suspension, which I'm sure is damageable, and then you have the overpowered suspension, which is good luck breaking this one. Oh boy, that sounds inviting, doesn't it? So let's see, tires-wise, we have a set of 52s. We have, well, let's see, I should say we have 3 sets of 52s. We have the Mud Rockers, we have the 52-inch Bajas, and the 52-inch Baja OP coated. So what we'll do is we'll start with the Mud Rockers, and then we'll go over to the OP coated Baja Claws. Now, let's see, TTC spec winch, or an OP spec winch. I'll go with the OP spec winch on this one because, again, we're doing a little bit more of a test right now. We're not actually doing a TTC run. Now, snorkel-wise, we have the tall mushroom snorkel, and then we have the tall front-facing, and let's see. I think I'm just going to do the tall front-facing trunk repair supplies. It's nice to have them, but we don't need them at the moment because we, of course, have the dev tools. Let's see. Angled sun visor, simple tow hitch. We've got the Western Star horns up top. Oh, that's so sick. Let's see, rear bumper, let's see, chrome, pursuit, stock, rear stock, and rear bumper with lights. Definitely throwing the rear bumper with lights on there. And then now, yeah, we should be able to throw the hitch on there. And now it interfaces properly with that rear bumper. Now, let's see. I'm going to do the small parking lights. And I love this brush guard that we see on the front right here. This thing is one of the coolest parts of this entire rig, 100%. Now, wheels-wise, you get this one wheel on this particular set of tires. However, obviously, you would have more of that kind of steel wheel design when you switch to the Baja Claws. And then, of course, you have your selection of colors that you can go with essentially whatever you would like. And honestly, it's kind of a toss-up for me. I kind of dig this green. I don't know why. I'm not always a big fan of green on a lot of vehicles, but this rig, it definitely pulls it off. I actually really like the way that green looks. Now, let's go ahead and throw... Oh, dude, you got the Bobbledar up there on the dash, but you know what? For my first time especially running this thing, we gotta throw beads up there. Y'all already know it's gotta be a thing. Oh, dude. And the cool thing about that hitch setup, too, is the fact that it can be completely 100% functional in a campaign map as well. Alright, so let's see how this thing does in terms of flex first. I do want to go ahead and check the trailer options as well. So you got a decent amount of trailers, actually. Also, wow, okay. Not bad. Not bad. Mainly scout trailers. It's going to be pull-behind scout trailers, which that does include some of Pog's tilt decks, which is actually really nice. Holy smokes. Okay. Yeah, with the top engine, this thing absolutely takes off. But I gotta say, it's not so over the top to where you're like, this is too much. I mean, it is a lot, and I'm sure that, you know, there are going to be some people that are going to be like, oh my god, that thing is way too fast. But if you put the TTC spec on it, it's not going to be, like, overly fast at all. Bro, this flex is insane, though. Look at that. It's not even having any trouble at all flexing the front axle all the way out and keeping the rear completely and totally on the ground. That is a extremely respectable amount of flex. That's really, really good. I love that horn. I love the fact that he chose that one too. That horn is incredible. There's so much like body roll and pitch and dive, but you know what? That actually makes a lot of sense with a vehicle like this, because when you get on the brakes, it should dive the front end forward. When you when you floor it, it should raise the front end up off, well, maybe not off the ground, but it should, lean way back. It's got a lot of body movement, but I think that contributes to the realism factor of it. It really does. Now, I'm sure that this hill climb is going to be, I don't know, 0 issues. So let's make it a little bit more interesting. What we're going to do is we're going to bump it straight into high right from the bottom. Oh, got to get the handbrake off first. Back it up. All right, so let's see. And go. Oh, my God. Well, if that doesn't tell you how much torque this thing's got behind it, I don't know what does. Jeez, that's a... where are you going? Where are you... Well... here's to hoping we end up back on our wheels. Please. Please. Gravity did not function like gravity right there. Gravity was like, yeah, I'm a head out. And head out it did. I mean, dude, gravity was like, peace out, bro. I will see ya. Now, thankfully, we were able to get it back onto its wheels, but geez, that was not what I was expecting to have happen at all. The cool thing is, you can genuinely just climb this hill at whatever angle you desire. Literally, absolutely whatever angle you desire. You'll see, oh my God. That flex is wild. And of course, you're running all-wheel drive all the time, diff lock always on. I mean, you really never even have to worry about it. What? Bro, it walked through that like it wasn't even a consideration. Literally, like it walked through that like it wasn't even a problem. Also, that is a sick shot of the flex. That's actually a really good idea of like how much droop the suspension has. Not even how much flex it has, but you want to talk about like suspension flex, that's the amount of down travel that you're working with right there, which is an insane amount. Absolutely like nuts. Now let's see what this setup performs like in the mud, because obviously you're not going to be driving it in just rocks. There's going to be a lot more to it than that. Now, rocks are a big part of the game, yes, of course, especially for a vehicle like this, but once again, what are you going to do when you run up on a bunch of mud? Well, quite simply, you're going to point it at the mud and you're going to floor it, and this is going to happen. Yeah, it kind of just goes right through it, at least on this setup. Let's see what happens when we get into the mud lanes. This is still high range, by the way. It wheelied out of that. Okay, the deep stuff, it's starting to struggle with a little bit, but I was kind of trying to avoid the ultra deep stuff. I wanted to do this next mud lane, but that didn't really work out that way. Whoa! What? All right. Yeah, that's properly next level. That is so good. Now, let's just see real quick what happens when we just toss it into this pond. I mean, if you put it back into first gear, it will still go. That is incredible. The fact that it will just still go after just, like, throwing it into that pond is amazing. Let's see what happens when you put it in mud like this. I mean, this mud is gnarly. I mean, most vehicles will not be able to even make it through this, but this thing is actually, I mean, it's not obviously going all that fast, but it's moving with enough forward momentum that I certainly would not consider it stuck. I wouldn't consider it stuck in any capacity. I wouldn't even say it's even remotely getting stuck. It's just going, it's literally just going. And at the end of the day, that is an insanely respectable performance in mud that's that deep. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that you're going to run into in some really genuinely challenging maps. And if you need a scout that can literally do everything and can also help out your heavy-duty vehicles in a pinch, this is definitely going to fit that need. Absolutely. All right, let's go ahead and do a quick repair and refuel. And actually, I want to do, before we carry on anymore, I want to do a tire change. Yeah, there we go. So these are the OP spec Baja Claws, and I wonder how the performance in the mud, even the deep mud, I wonder if that will change on these. Let's see. Wow, so it's actually pretty similar. Okay, in the really deep mud, it's pretty similar. but in the shallower mud, I bet you this thing will just rip. Let's see. Yeah, so the OP spec Baja Claws are definitely just that. They freaking rip, dude. They absolutely freaking rip, and very little stands in their way. Absolutely very little. Oh my god. I can also tell you that the grip is much higher because when I get on the brakes, bro, this thing stops. And when I say it stops on a dime, it freaking stops on a dime. Now the dips obstacle, I guarantee you I won't even have to turn. I'm just going to put it in low minus and walk right through here. I will not even have to turn. Not even remotely. Dude, it's not even going to get high-centered. Even with it being this long of a wheelbase, you can forget getting high-centered in this thing. Let's go ahead and turn the lights on. Oh, I love that. They actually have that really cool, like, retro look to them when you turn them on. They're not like a super bright, like, white HID, which is completely fine, you know, especially on newer rigs. But on these older rigs, it's really cool to see kind of a little bit more of that kind of classic headlight tone. Or really headlight, I guess, like, color shade in a way. But let's make our way just a little bit further on. Here we go. Not bad. Just walking it. It's all good. All good. Bro, that actually went really, really, really well. Like, to the point to where I would never worry about driving this thing through essentially any level of obstacle like that on any map. And now, it's time for what y'all have been waiting for, the bridge jump. Now, we're already set up to take the bridge jump in terms of, like, engine and gearbox. And essentially, with the even higher grip tires, I kind of have a feeling that we are on the optimal bridge jump setup. We are in bridge jump spec right now, which I couldn't be happier to be in bridge jump spec. All right, we ready, Beans? Let's go, and full send. I'm gonna have to go into interior view temporarily. All right, here we go. Oh, it just changed up a gear. Bro. That was the most level I've seen anything take the bridge jump in a very long time. I mean, you want to talk about insanely level? That was insanely level. It didn't pitch forward. It didn't pitch back. It was literally, like, just exactly level the whole time. I don't know how he tuned it to do that, but mad props to Diesel Addict. Now, if y'all enjoyed this video and, of course, enjoyed this look at his new truck, the Doomsday, make sure to let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys next time.